What's going on, everybody? Welcome on in to Unsportsmanlike Conduct after a whole week off. And this is episode number 90 of this bad boy. Fantastic. Love it. Right now we're a tag team, but soon we will become the tripod that you've come to know and love. I am Steve. I got, as always, we got Ant right over here. What's going on, sir?
Not much. Busy few days in the sporting news world. Busy week. Honestly, it's been nonstop. We're gonna have a lot to catch up on.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Yeah, we do. We do have a shit ton to talk about. There's stuff, a ton of NHL trades. We got NBA stuff in the news, including some injury information to get to. We actually are going to talk a little boxing today. Are you ready for that?
I guess we'll find out. We'll find out if I'm ready for that. We'll find out.
And we'll talk about NFL, the who was tagged, any surprise non-tags or surprise tags, and then free agency coming up. This is the NFL. We have already heard that certain things are going to start happening. These things get announced well before free agency starts. And then I want to talk a little weird story about somebody that I thought was cool. But I'll tease. That's a tease. Huh?
I don't know where that one's going either. I'm interested.
Nobody has any idea where I'm going to go with that one. But we have all that stuff. We're not really going to get into much baseball tonight, if any. It's spring training. Not any major news has happened. Although, one thing that I'll say before we run the open, thing that puts a little smile on this miserable Met fan's face, is that Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer,
exactly what you were going to say,
and Jacob deGrom will start the year on the IL.
I knew exactly where that was going as soon as you said it.
A little bit of good news in there for that. So we'll actually get jump started with basketball with the NBA right after this. All right. Welcome on back here to Unsportsmanlike Conduct, episode number 90. We'll get started here with some NBA news. Depending on what your thoughts are this week, there's a couple of different bits of NBA news that would be important or not important to you. But let's get to the LeBron James. 40,000 points.
It is better we get this out of the way with Tim's not here.
That's right. 40,000 points for LeBron James. And here's my issue with one Stephen A. Smith. He says it doesn't mean nothing because it was in a loss.
What?
And the Kobe statue was a loss. And whatever other big games this year with off the court stuff, they've lost. What does that have to do with anything? Nobody. Hey, the Italian here. Nobody in the history of the NBA has ever done it. So I mean, what else can you say? But holy shit, like we witnessed. No pun intended. We witnessed this from start to hopefully finish, and 40,000 points. It's astonishing to me. It's crazy. And it's even crazier. That's the thing with Stephen A. Smith. really quick, and I'll throw it to you. But that when he goes to a side because it's such an unpopular opinion, he gnaws at it a little bit for argument's sake. There, why does he have to go there and say, "Oh, it doesn't mean nothing. It was a loss." Okay, with your 1.5 points per game, 40,000 points in the NBA, nobody's ever done it. So it's elite.
So just to touch on this, to give an idea of how ridiculous this stat is. Okay, 40,000 points, right? As it stands before any games happen today. I'm not sure if they're playing tonight or not. 40,067 points. That's what he has right now, LeBron, which means he is 2,880 points already ahead of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the previous points leader all time. He is just over 3,000 points ahead of Karl Malone, who was previously second before LeBron came along. He is 7,000 points, roughly 6,400 points ahead of Kobe, and 7,800 points ahead of Jordan. But just to give an even crazier idea of this, there's only, not counting LeBron, 7 players ever to score 30,000 points. 30,000 points. There's only been 7. Not one of them is still active, by the way. Those players: Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Karl Malone, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Dirk Nowitzki, Wilt Chamberlain, and Julius Erving. Moses Malone got close but didn't get it. So 7 players other than LeBron have even hit 30. LeBron's at 40. But here's the craziest thing to me. The closest active player, because this is where I think it gets interesting, is, anytime a new record is set, we have to talk about, is it ever going to be broken? And I'm sure eventually it will be broken, maybe 100 years from now or something. Who knows? The closest active player to LeBron right now is Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is 12,000 points behind LeBron. Meaning that when LeBron retires, which is not going to be, doesn't sound like it's going to be after this season. Sounds like we're going to get at least one more, maybe 2, at least 1 though. And the him scoring 2,100, 2,200 points seems like a given at this point. I don't have, matter of fact, here, I'll pull him up while I talk. So you're talking about he's going to be right around probably 43,000 points would be my guess. 43,000 points, we'll say. Let's see here. Well, he's been a little less lately because of the games played. So he's probably got a good another 1,600 points that he'll add to what his total is. So he'll get pretty close to that 42,000 mark. But that means, though, after he retires, Kevin Durant is essentially going to have 6 2,000 point seasons after LeBron retires. I don't know if anyone's watched Kevin Durant play lately. He's 35. And the injuries are really starting to take their toll on him, especially the lower body ones. And I'm not trying to say that he's like a bad player now or anything like that, still scoring 28 a game. But you can see when you watch Kevin Durant play, it does not come as easily as it used to. And just for reference's sake, Kevin Durant has not scored 2,000 points in a season since 2018, 2019, his last year with the Golden State Warriors.
Hey.
So chances of him rattling off 6 straight to end his career seem very unlikely. So Kevin Durant's not getting there. Next closest after that is James Harden. He's 15,000 points away. That's not happening. Russ is even more than that. I guess Steph Curry is 17,000 points away. 17,000 points away for anyone. That's a lot. I'm not even going to run off the rest of these names. No one on this list that's in the top. Giannis at 18,000, or Giannis, however you say his name. Giannis is a great player, but he's 22,000 points away. 22,000 points. All right, we have to wrap up the LeBron talk now.
Gotta stop talking about no more LeBron.
But the only player that I wanted to say maybe is someone maybe down the road could get there, in my opinion, would probably be someone like Luka. And even that, I don't know that Luka is committed to keeping himself in the physical condition needed long term for that to be possible.
I might agree with you on that.
So absurd though.
Yes. No, it crazy, and then this guy with his nonsense. All right. What else in the NBA? And surprise, Ben Simmons out for the season. once again. Timmy, give me a thumbs up when you're ready. So Ben Simmons out for the season. That crazy stat that I sent you, I was like, well, damn, like you realize it's happening. He's missed 61% of the games that he's played under this contract. 61. Like you know that he's missing a lot of games, but then you're like, holy shit. You just 61% not played.
He's played, let's see. So he signed that contract. When did he sign that contract? Is it prior? I think it's prior to 1920, but it didn't kick in until 2021, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, it didn't kick in until 21-22. So yeah, he's played in that amount of time 115 games in 4 seasons. 4 seasons, not 3. That's 4 seasons. 115.
That's amazing. Like,
and he's still he's only 27 years old, which is even crazier.
Just enough.
He's only 27. That contract paid him $190 million because right before he signed it, he made an All-Pro or an All-NBA team.
Right.
Which is the craziest thing about all this. Like, he was actually really, really good. Then
I had him on my fantasy team. It was a triple-double machine. I didn't care that it was 11, 11, and 11.
He had some 20, 10, 12s in there, 20, 12, 10s.
But I remember a lot of like 12, 10, and 11s or so, or something like that. But you get the boost for the triple-double no matter what.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. And this has got to be it, right? Like he's after this contract. When is this contract up? How long was that? 7 years?
After next season. After next season.
Okay.
And then the rest of this year and next year.
Who signs him? He becomes Eddie Curry at that point.
Someone will sign him. I will put that. Well, I can't say that because there's a real possibility in my opinion. So, assuming the back condition is legitimate, supposedly he does have severe nerve damage in his back. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Not laughing at that.
I'm not a doctor. I have no idea if that's true or not. That's what they say. He has severe nerve damage in his back. He will be 28 years old when that contract ends. I don't see a way that a team doesn't take a chance on him if he's still willing to play. Not at 28, not with the athletic ability that we haven't seen in like 3 years. But someone's going to take a shot on him. And I think I told this story. I don't remember if it was the last show we did or a couple shows back. I'll never forget. I have a close friend of mine, huge Sixers fan. We went to watch them play the Magic here in Orlando, and we were sitting pretty much courtside and watching warm-ups. Ben Simmons just shot lights out for like 20 straight minutes of warm-ups. Like, didn't miss a single shot. And I'm not talking like mid-range jumpers. The dude was shooting threes from everywhere and hitting everything. And I think I think on TV, I've only seen him take a 3 in a game like one time. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, he was so good, so athletic, a first team all NBA defense twice, third team all NBA once, rookie of the year, 3-time all-star, and then poof, done. just gone.
Vanish and now stealing money year after year, month after month, week after week, day after day, hour after hour.
He's still a career 56% shooter.
You said he's 27. It feels like he's like 42 of how much we hear about him and getting injured.
27.
Let's pause here. Let's welcome in the third leg of the tripod, Timmy.
Oh, fellas, what's going on?
I feel weird. I think you have to switch Tim and I's spots here.
Oh God, you guys are so anal.
I feel weird with
so anal.
It feels better now. Sorry.
It's all right.
Tim has to be in that corner. That's just Tim's spot.
All right.
That's the way the world spins, Tim.
Hey, whatever. Well, whatever makes you guys happy, I'm game. I like the fancy backgrounds. I think you need to get me a fancy background.
I figured out how to load them. So
Anthony was playing with all this shit back there. He's like the kid goes into the producer room. He's like
pushing buttons.
My son for Christmas got the fucking ring light with the giant green screen. I say, I'm gonna have to borrow that one day and start messing with that.
Yep.
Here, I know how to do this now.
Just to give yourself the tingles.
Oh, I get excited when I hear that noise.
Yeah, tingly. All right, so that's the Ben Simmons thing. He's out for the season. Yeah, he's gonna miss. Timmy, I don't know if you heard or if you saw what I put in the chat earlier, but he has missed 61% of the games in his contract.
That's insane.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right,
61% back of the money. No.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
100 by the end of next season. That most recent contract will have paid him $190 million. $190 million.
Jesus.
And we wonder why he doesn't want to play.
That's so upsetting.
Not gonna lie, if I had $190 million, I might not want to play either.
The other big news as far as injuries are concerned is Karl Anthony Towns at the T-Wolves out for an undisclosed amount of games, so that doesn't help us with our prop bets. They did go from 25-1 odds for the title to 30-1.
That's not a big drop for losing.
It's not a big drop.
One
so
of their best players.
Yeah, but maybe their belief is that it's not going to be a long-term thing, and he can bounce right back. But
it's a torn meniscus. That's 6 to 8 weeks minimum. I mean, that puts him back end of April at best.
Yeah,
mid to late April at best, and early May at worst. That's playoff time already. They might be eliminated by the time he's back. In that case,
and then that'll be an interesting. So this is the more interesting, obviously, because who the hell cares about Ben Simmons? But this is the most intriguing of the injury news because of the potential of what could go on in the conference.
Yep. And as it stands right now, before tonight's games, they still sit atop the West right now. They are in first place. They are tied technically with Oklahoma City, but they do have the tiebreaker. Nuggets only a game behind the two of them.
Just looking at who's playing tonight. Typically, guys, we used to get a blowout, but I don't see any right now. Phoenix might be headed towards that. They're up by 15 in the first quarter. Hey, Timmy. Yes. Your Celtics, what the hell do the Golden State Warriors gonna think? They were down by 42 points in the first half. How does that happen?
Because you know why? Because the Celtics love to shoot threes, but they're all going in all of a sudden. They're all going in now. It's like that's the difference. Yeah, I was actually watching. I've been watching the last couple of games. I'm getting excited over it because they just been putting a whooping on people.
And that's a team, Golden State, who has been playing better. I think they won 14 of the last 16 games. They're all healthy, and the big guy who's getting a lot of the credit for that final piece potentially to a Celtics championship is Porzingis.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
who the hell would have thought that?
I mean,
even I made fun of that trade in the beginning of the year.
No, if he play, but if he. Obviously he can take 1-2 steps back in Boston, whereas with the Knicks he had a I did lie. I liked him with the Knicks. He was great player, but he decided he wanted out. And then Dallas was Dallas, and then I think he's found his groove here. Obviously, Celtics are mowing down people left and right. And they're obviously now the Celtics. There's no, if they don't win a title, it's a failure of a season because they're just dominating right now. There's no,
which of course makes every game stressful now because you're like, oh my god, like playoff time is going to be just nothing but pure stress. Like I said, they lose in the first round, it's just a complete waste of time.
Oh,
so it's like that sucked.
They do that to the Warriors on Sunday, and then they came back and Joe Mazzulla reared his ugly head again on Tuesday with a horrible loss to the Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a 1-point loss, but I just thought the coaching down the stretch was pathetic. To put it nicely.
The Heat have come back. They were just down by, I think 11. I saw they're down by 4.
They were down double digits.
Okay, I thought I saw that. And then Phoenix up by 14. We need a blowout. Keep the tradition alive. Detroit beat Brooklyn.
The last show we did, we had 15 blowouts.
Yeah,
every game was a blowout.
Oh, Nuggets Celtics tonight, 10 o'clock.
Ooh, in Boston. In Denver.
In Denver, yeah, that'd be a good one.
I will flip it on.
I saw someone say that you should just parlay every game. Jokic, 6 or more rebounds, 6 or more assists, and 20 or more points, and just parlay that every game and just see how you make out.
There you go. I like it. Hey, that's a bet. It
he's like, we need to take a break while I use my phone.
Yeah, let me place that here. Look at this. Plus 17. Okay. All right, so we'll keep an eye on what's going on in the NBA a little bit further down the road here. But let's move on. Anything else? I didn't miss anything in the NBA, did I?
I'm sure we did, but this is not hyper NBA news season right now, aside from injuries. And
dare you say that we missed something potentially?
Wait, before we jump into hockey, can we talk about Aaron Paul committing suicide?
Wait, what? About
that? Aaron Paul is fighting Mike Tyson.
Oh,
Aaron Paul.
Not Aaron Paul. Logan Paul.
Whatever the Paul. One of the Pauls. Whatever
Aaron Paul he's the one from.
And then I thought he really committed suicide. Yeah,
that's what I'm about to Google it. I pulled Google up and everything. I was like, wait, what?
Bad, man.
Oh, isn't Aaron? I thought Logan was the wrestler.
No, that's shit. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Who am I thinking of?
No, it is Logan Paul is the wrestler. Hold on,
I don't
Aaron
know. Paul. Then it's Aaron Paul. Who's
it's not Aaron. It's not Aaron.
Who's fighting fucking Mike Tyson? Why are you making me go crazy?
Name. What is his name? Jake. His brother's name is Jake.
Jake, that's the one. I can't think of all their names. I don't know who the hell their names are. Yeah, that asshole. He's committing suicide because he's gonna get his head taken off by Mike Tyson. I think it's gonna be hilarious.
Mike Tyson is 57 years old.
Do you see how fast he still is?
I did see his workout tape that his trainer shared the other day, and he doesn't look as fast as he once did, but he certainly looked a lot faster than I thought he would at 57.
How do you sit there and be like, yeah, I want to fight that guy? No.
I think that Jake's just gonna run from him for what it won't be it'll be like a 6-round fight or something stupid.
Who's Aaron Paul? The actor.
Aaron Paul is Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad.
Thank you. Because you said Aaron Paul, so I'm like, that's the guy from Breaking Bad. I'm like, what do you mean?
I
gotta go back and watch my reaction when you said it. I was like, what? No.
I got my Paul. I apologize. I got my Pauls mixed up.
I'll be like, that's it. Okay,
there's too many of them walking around. Yeah, I was like, wait, Logan's in wrestling, so it has to be the other one. I thought the other one was Aaron. Okay, my bad.
Whatever his name is Paul is the favorite in this match. He's like 3.
Then again, every time I go against him, he wins. So I guess I should keep my mouth shut.
The mush.
Oh, it's not that. It's just I never think he can win. Now you got Tyson. I don't know. I mean, he beats Tyson. I don't care how old Tyson is. You beat him, it's still it's a massive W. That's a massive W.
I don't care how old he is. I'm not take a punch from Mike Tyson.
I will take. Dude, you wouldn't take Mike Tyson for $1 million?
I mean, if there was money, yes. Okay, yes.
He's making way more than $1 million for that fight.
I'll go back to 1987 and let him blast me in the face for $1 million. No problem.
I mean, honestly, you probably won't feel it till you wake up, so it can't be that bad.
Maybe you spend $20,000 on plastic surgery and then you keep the rest. So what's the big deal?
Look at that.
Be more worried about him killing me with the punch
Timmy
than
provides
anything.
solutions out there. Timmy's a problem solver.
Some of those uppercuts that he would land on people, I don't know how people's heads stayed attached. The velocity that those uppercuts.
Oh no! I would have a rule. I'd be like, well, you got to hit me like right in the side. You don't hit me in my nose, my jaw, or my stomach. You got to hit me like right here, flush on the side of the face. $1 million, no problem. You can wind up all you want. I don't care. I'm ready to take that punch. I'll do it now. I'll let one of you slap me for $50. I don't give a shit. Money's money, baby.
That's it. Timmy's gonna open up an OnlyFans. Come smack me.
Come smack me, please. Come smack me, Tim.
Oh man. All right. So
no, that's actually not a bad idea, Steve. I'll have to give you 10% now because you brought that up.
Yes. I think it's good. I think it'll work out. All right, let's switch gears here. Get into a little hockey action. I'll throw it over to you, and a flurry of trades
Another trade actually just happened like a couple minutes ago too. Anthony Duclair, former Florida Panther, was with the San Jose Sharks, just got traded to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Back in Florida. Just a different Florida. Yeah, there's been 12, 13, 14 trades now. No, 16 trades now.
16.
In the last 3 days. And today's not over yet. And technically there's technically been 2 more trades that have happened that aren't even a part of that. So there's a flurry of trades. I don't think these guys realize that the trade deadline is actually tomorrow, not yesterday and today, because the trades have just not stopped since yesterday at like noon. They started rolling in yesterday and they just haven't stopped.
Hey, we do have a blowout in hockey. Does that count?
Sure.
Who is it?
Washington's up 6-0 on Pittsburgh. Or they just won. It's over.
I should have pulled up the scores just in case.
Calgary put up 6 too. 6 also.
Sorry, just scrolling. Okay. Yeah, so running through some of these trades. I'm not going to go through every single one of them. I'm just going to highlight a few of the bigger ones or teams that I thought maybe have had a better deadline so far, and maybe a worse deadline. Depends on how you look at it. Have to start with the Colorado Avalanche. Yesterday, they pulled off 2 separate transactions, one of which was picking up defenseman Sean Walker from the Philadelphia Flyers. In that trade, they sent back to Philadelphia Ryan Johansson, who's already on a retained salary from the Nashville Predators. So his $8.5 million salary is down to like 4.25 or something. But he's now been traded to Philadelphia. He was immediately waived. He will not play for Philadelphia. It sounds like he's going to be stuck in their AHL team. At first, I thought it was interesting that they would traded, that he was, part of the trade and then immediately waived. But there were some reports that came out about some issues with him in the locker room in Colorado. Not a good sign for a player of his age and his former caliber. He was a perennial 60, 70 point scorer not too long ago. And now we could be seeing the end days for Ryan Johansson. But I also forgot to mention that Ryan Johansson was probably part of the reason. Well, he had something to do with him and John Tortorella, who is now the head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers, did not get along when they were together in Columbus years ago. Sworn enemies. And being that he was waived immediately, and Daniel Briere, their GM, when asked today if there was a potential future for Ryan Johansson in Philadelphia, flat out said no.
Yet.
We're gonna work on finding him a new home. He was waived, immediately sent down to Lehigh Valley, their AHL affiliate, where he will remain until some form of solution is found, whether that be traded elsewhere, seems unlikely, or bought out in the offseason, seems most likely. But also Colorado yesterday, they also traded former 4th overall pick, I believe it was the 2019 draft, Bowen Byram, star defenseman, to the Buffalo Sabres for Casey Middlestat. Casey Middlestat, also a high former first-round pick, has had a lackluster career, kind of, sort of, up until this year. This year, really in a breakout year, but it is a contract year, so in hockey, you always have to be a little cautious of those things. Many players have had their best seasons of their career right before they get paid and then never reach those marks again. So
really?
It happens quite frequently in hockey.
Never.
Quite frequently. So an interesting trade. I'm not crazy about Colorado giving up a player like Bowen Byram. I know he's a defenseman, and defensively he's not great, but offensively he is a special talent. And I would say that in their cup run a couple years ago, his defensive play was elevated. And he's still young. I think he's only 23 or 24 at the time of taping here. So it's an interesting trade for them. It does help clear out their cap a little bit. Ryan Johansson's contract did run into next season. So between those 2 trades, they essentially replace Byram defensively with Sean Walker and bring in Casey Middlestat, a second pair center, a second line center, which they desperately needed. I just don't like trading young, controlled, already under contract players like Bowen Byram. That seems crazy to me. I know a lot of people don't agree, but that's just how I look at it. So not overly crazy about that. For Buffalo, on the other hand, I think it's a great trade for them. Casey Middlestat is very evident they weren't going to pay him the money he's asking for, and was part of the reason he was on the trade block. So to get a player like Bowen Byram back in the trade, on paper, it makes a lot of sense. You pair him up with a Rasmus Dahlin or with an Owen Power, who are superb all-around defensemen, both former number 1 overall picks, and you have quite the pairing there. The only thing that I found very odd about Buffalo, for those that don't know, most of the time in hockey, your defense pairings are made up of a left-handed defenseman and a right-handed defenseman. Well, Buffalo now has Bowen Byram, Michael Samuelsson, Owen Power, and Rasmus Dahlin, all under contract for, I believe, at the least the next 3 years. All former top, well, the 3 of them are former top 5 overall picks, 2 number 1s and a 4. And Michael Samuelsson was, I think, the 28th overall pick. All left-handed. And they also have other lefties in their organization as well that are like actively playing for them. So interesting from that standpoint, but from a talent perspective, I think it made too much sense. So I like that trade for them. I have to obviously talk about your Rangers. They picked up Alex Wenberg yesterday from the Seattle Kraken. Not a big splashy move, but not a bad move at all. Provides them down the middle depth, which they desperately need. And I actually think that they're going to have another move or two up their sleeve before tomorrow's deadline. Noah Hannafin to the Vegas Golden Knights. It is February, March. That means that the Vegas Golden Knights have a star player that is on LTIR so they can circumvent the cap before the playoffs. They do it every year.
Where's Raul? By the way,
I'm sure he's listening. They do it every year. I do think that their situation is a little more unique per se than what Tampa did a few years ago in the COVID season, where Nikita Kucherov had off-season hip surgery, and they just told Nikita, hey, take the 56 games off, come back for the playoffs. So in an $80 million cap season, they somehow managed to have like a $100 million payroll come playoff time. Go figure. Oh, they also sent Steven Stamkos home for the last 18 games of that season as well. Threw him on LTIR as well. So they were the bigger offenders, but this is like the 4th year in a row Vegas has done this right at the trade deadline. Major player goes on LTIR, and the playoffs 3 days before the playoffs start, Mark Stone's going to show up back to practice like a WWE wrestler we haven't seen in a while. His music will hit. Jim Ross will go berserk.
Oh my God!
Is that Mark Stone's music?
That son of a bitch! That son of a bitch!
So, but yeah. Sorry, I got off track with the Rangers. I do think with the Knights. It's a big trade for them getting Noah Hannafin. They got Noah Hannafin from the Calgary Flames. One of the more interesting stipulations I've ever heard in a trade. A first-round pick was traded from Vegas to Calgary in that trade. That pick is a 2025, so not this coming draft, but next year's draft from Vegas. However, the stipulation on the pick is, if Vegas decides to trade their 2025 first-round pick to someone else by tomorrow's deadline, then Calgary gets the 2026 first-round pick and not the 2025. So technically speaking, Vegas still has their 2025 first-round pick to trade, as well as I believe their 2024. So Vegas doesn't seem like they're done either. And it's also rumored that Hannafin is going to sign an 8-year extension in Vegas, but that has not been completed as of yet. I guess we should talk about the Canadian teams a little bit. The Toronto Maple Leafs have made a couple of super lackluster trades for bottom pair defensemen. Picked up Joel Edmondson earlier today from Washington. Cool, I guess. I don't I don't understand what they're doing. I really don't. Like, if they were gonna, if you're not gonna go all in, then that's fine. Just teams do it. Boston, for instance, was all in last year. They made a bunch of trades, gave up a ton of assets, and this year they've, for the most part, kind of sat out the trade market. And Toronto's just making weird trades, like picking up Joel Edmondson for a 3rd and 5th round pick, or picking up Lyubushkin from Anaheim for a 2nd round pick, or just I don't understand what they're doing. Makes no sense. 2 trades that are, we talked about the Anthony Duclair trade. One more trade that's really big that has not been officially announced yet, but by all reports is done, is former Penguin Jake Gensel has been traded to the Carolina Hurricanes. So that's a big trade for Carolina. That's a primetime winger that they did need. It's a great fit for them, and the East is going to be a fucking gauntlet again. What do you know? Oh, I almost forgot. Florida Panthers. Vladimir Tarasenko. Sorry. Picked up Vladimir Tarasenko yesterday for a couple of pennies in terms of a 3rd and 4th round draft pick as well. There's also been like 10 other trades, but we would literally have an entire show if I went through all of them. And there'll probably be like 30 more tomorrow. So what everyone should do is hopefully Saturday, assuming I get off work at a decent time tomorrow. Saturday, I'm going to have just a trade rundown article trying to go through most of the trades. I can't promise you I will go over all of these trades because some of these trades are just minor league AHLers for AHLers, and I'm not covering those. So bite me.
The Gunsel trade is official?
It is not official yet, but based on every insider that I follow on Twitter, because I refuse to call it X, the deal is done. They're just working out some of the minor details. So
I don't know if you heard what that deal was supposed to be.
I'm listening. Oh, you're talking about the one with Boston and Vancouver?
No, Gunsel was supposed to come to the Rangers for Kako and a couple draft picks.
I heard that earlier today that it was Capo Kako and a 1st round pick for Gunsel. I actually thought that would have been a pretty good trade for the Rangers, but I also understand not wanting to give up a 1st and Kako in the same deal. Supposedly, the Rangers were also close to picking up Adam Henrique from Anaheim before he went to Edmonton in a deal that would have also featured Capo Kako. So it seems like the Rangers want to hold on to him. It's an interesting name to say the least. It seems like the Rangers want to hold on to him, though. He did have a 40-point season last year. He is still, I think, 22 years old, very young, former 2nd overall pick. So I get it. But, sometimes you gotta push your chips in. I know the Rangers are a little disappointed after kind of really pushing their chips in last year and not getting the results they wanted. So we'll see. There's still, how much time we got here? We got 17 hours left on the trade deadline. So there's still a ton of time for stuff to happen.
I like Capo too, and I don't like giving up the young players, but he's only got 11 points. You know what I'm saying? And Gunsel has,
I get it,
52 points, or I don't know.
The only thing that would scare me about someone like Jay Guentzel is if you look at Gensel's splits from when he is playing with Sidney Crosby and when he is playing without Sidney Crosby, they are vastly different. And I get it. Sidney Crosby has that effect because he is very good. But I would like to see a player that can also score when Sid's not on the ice, and Guentzel is not very good at that if Sid's not on the ice with him. So that would be my only concern with him. Now, him going to Carolina, he's going to get a chance to play with their bevy of high-scoring, high-powered offensive weapons: Martin Nekis, Sebastian Aho, Teuvo Teravainen. There's more. Brett Burns is on their defense, and he's a high-scoring defenseman. They've got a ton of weapons in Carolina, so I think he'll fit in nicely with them.
Speaking of Brett, do you want to show Timmy your shades?
Oh, here you go, Tim. The best deal I've ever had.
You gotta walk around, put them on little kids. Just walk around randomly, put them on little kids.
And just tell them you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, fun fact: both Canadian teams are losing 4-1. One has lost 4-1, and one will be losing 4-1. Boston's up 4-1 over Toronto. Carolina beat Montreal. The Panthers. Did that game start earlier than normal? I felt like it was just Philly. It's probably Brian Hom sucks was probably there. Brian Hom. Stupid Philadelphia.
It was 7 o'clock puck drop for that game.
7? It's usually 7:30 there, right? All right. So yeah, because traffic built up. Sorry, traffic built up a lot sooner than normal today.
It looked like it was a sellout from what I saw earlier.
I saw a ton of Flyer jerseys. I mean, that happens. Devils won 4-1. Washington beat Pittsburgh 6-0. Calgary beat Tampa 6-3, and Nashville is up over Buffalo 2-1 in the second.
Go Preds.
All right, so that is NHL. So let's move it on to the gridiron because we got some stuff to talk about on the football field. So let's get into some of that. This week has been a lot of news coming forward in the NFL. Players getting tagged, players not getting tagged, and what that's going to be like. Free agency coming up here soon. So just hand it off. Maybe Timmy, did you was there any surprises on the tags? Either way, surprise not getting tagged, surprise getting tagged.
Giants didn't use theirs even after the cap got raised. That we expected at least to tag McKinney. They said no.
They did not.
That's probably the biggest shock that I thought. Saquon is done, man. I knew he wasn't coming back. I know people are going to tag him. They're going to tag him. No, they're not. They're moving on. And the list of free agent running backs is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. So, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen.
But every day it's a different – it feels like a different team. Almost every hour there's a different team in the lead for Saquon. And
the originals I heard
last was Philadelphia.
Philly came today, and that really pissed me off. And even Tiki Barber, who I'm not a big fan of anymore, he was like, if you go to Philly, you ruin your whole legacy.
Don't do it.
You ruin everything. I heard Ravens, Raiders, Chargers, Texans as far as where he can end up. You know what? Go to the Ravens. Go to the Texans. Go to the Chargers. Get the hot of the NFC.
Texans, that's insane. Insane.
That's a scary offense.
They got their quarterback now. They got decent receivers, and they're rebuilding that D. So it's a good fit for them.
Here, I was watching earlier, and they were showing stats for the top 3 running backs. You got Saquon at 98.8 scrimmage yards per game since 2018. That's 5th in the NFL. You got Derrick Henry, 90 rushing touchdowns since entering the league in 2016, which is the most in the NFL. Also has 200. I think I heard 200 more carries than any of the other guys that started out in 2016. And then Josh Jacobs, who kind of shot the bed last year, 3.5 yards per rush, and he was ranked 40th out of 44. So, and obviously we have the decline in the value of running backs over the last couple of years, a lot, and really quickly, why is Ron Rivera on ESPN giving me?
I have no idea.
Analysis.
I didn't even know he signed with them. I don't think
neither did I.
He was on TV today.
Yeah. And he was talking about. I mean, makes a valid point that on some of these teams you could just plug and play a different. Wow.
Steve,
it's wrestling news. It's
wrestling my bad. Time. I didn't realize when I clicked that it changed the whole thing. My bad. I'm sorry. I was just gonna play a soundbite, but never mind now. I didn't realize it changed the whole thing when I did that. So you give me access to stuff, I just fuck shit up. So it's all good.
So yeah, like he was saying that you can kind of plug and play, and running backs could be make or break in different offenses. Obviously, thank you for that very great insight, Mr. Rivera. But
he has the personality of a wet towel hanging up over.
Oh my god, that's
all he is.
Why? Why did we bring him in?
But I mean, he's not wrong though. I mean, you look at the Ravens.
He's not wrong.
You could plug any one of the top 5 free agents, and they're going to be probably successful in the Ravens offense. So, I mean, it's not Saquon. It might be Josh Jacobs, not Jeff Jacobs. Who knows? They make a change. Eckler, Henry, Pollard. Who knows?
Pollard.
DeAndre Swift.
I think Pollard is a dark horse free agent running back. After a bad season, I don't think as many people are talking about him, and I think he's the one I'm very interested to see where he goes, because I know Baltimore's been linked to basically every available running back. I think Pollard for them makes the most sense, because they're not going to run any running back solo. So get him back there in a committee with whoever you want, doesn't matter. And I think you've got a good start to a backfield over there in Baltimore.
No, for sure. Super dangerous again. Like as if it was in Houston. But here's how the NFL ranks the top the 8 running backs that are going to be available free agency. Saquon at 1, Derrick Henry at 2. Josh Jacobs still at 3, Pollard at 4, DeAndre Swift at 5, Eckler at 6, J.K. Dobbins at 7, and Devin Singletary at 8. Devin Singletary had a nice year.
As much as I like J.K. Dobbins, I would not want my team to sign him based on his injury history. There's enough risk at that position. And like I said, I love J.K. Dobbins coming out. Not that I like Ohio State, but I just thought he was a phenomenal player.
Hey, look, Odell Beckham's a free agent again. Just so you know, Odell Beckham's a free agent again. Okay, fucking asshole.
Wow.
He got paid like $400,000 a catch last year. That's insane.
See, now here's my thing. Which one of these running backs is going to get a multi-year like super deal? I don't think any of them are going to get a super.
I think this could be a bounce back year for the running back market. Not a huge bounce back, but I could see Jacobs, Barkley, Pollard all getting multi-year deals. Wouldn't shock me.
What's the max number of years you think any team's willing to go on a?
I think Jacobs could get a 4 or 5, but see, a 4 or 5 year deal in the NFL today isn't really coming off 5 years. It's really a 3-year deal.
Right. But
Jacobs
coming
is still
off
only what 25, 26. He's super
27.
young.
He's 27.
Not Jacobs.
Oh, Jacobs is the youngest one.
Yeah, I think Jacobs is only 25. He's still very young.
Jacobs is 26, Pollard 27, DeAndre Swift is the youngest, 25, and Dobbins is 25.
Swift was the one's 25. I don't think Swift gets a big deal, but no, I think Jacobs could get a 4 or 5 year deal. Wouldn't shock me. I think Barkley's probably getting a 3-year deal somewhere. I could see Pollard. It depends on what Pollard wants to do. Does Pollard want to play this game of a 1-year deal and then try and enter free agency again with a bounce back? Because me personally, if I'm a running back, I'm just taking whatever money I can get at this point. Like,
especially if it's on a multi-year deal.
The way last year went, yeah, you're gonna give me 3 years and you're gonna guarantee me like $20 million. Like, done. Where am I moving to?
Well, the rumor here is the Giants when it's signed franchise Saquon and they give him the incentive deal. Certain amount of yards, certain amount of touchdowns, certain amount of catches. And that fell apart at the end also.
So the problem was because of the way they reworked his deal last year, his franchise tag. Had they just franchised him back-to-back years, it would have come out to like $21.5 million over 2 years. But because they elevated his deal last year, it was actually going to come out to like 25, 26 million between last year and this year. And I think that's why they backed off. I'm more shocked, and Tim touched on it. I can't believe they didn't franchise McKinney. At least transition tag him where you can match the contract. I couldn't believe that. That was my biggest shock of all of the tags.
So was I, because he's a leader. He's respected.
He's a good player.
Yeah,
he played every game.
Great player. Yeah.
Played almost every snap. Played every game. You know what I'm saying? That's the one that baffles me too. That's the one that makes me think. We may need new leadership again soon. Already, I don't understand what they're doing.
I mean, I understand safety is not, in terms of position value, defensively, it's not considered one of the 2 to 3 most important positions. I understand
leadership. That. You know what leadership is? There's got to be other factors involved. He is well respected. He was a captain. You know what I'm saying? But these things should be factors, I think, in re-signing somebody.
But even if you don't take, like, even if we just not even talk about the off the field stuff, on the field, the way he was used, the way he was deployed, and the way he played and answered the bell, and the way he was deployed. I mean, they were using him as a nickel at times. They were using him as a big safety in the box, as basically an extra linebacker at times. They're using him as a deep safety, center fielder at times. And he excelled everywhere. He was, I want to say, he was like the 2nd or 3rd highest graded safety in the NFL per PFF last year. He was phenomenal. I do not understand him not getting tagged. It makes no sense to me. Nope. And I hope the Dolphins sign him.
Close that on that.
I would love for him to come to Miami. I've got the
worst
list
cap situation right now, right?
No, it's
that's what I saw today.
No, because maybe it
was Ron Rivera who said it.
I know they've made a bunch of moves already, and they've got like 3 or 4 moves in the bag that it sounds like they're just waiting to announce. Let's see. No, you are correct. They have 300,000 less cap dollars than the Chargers right now. They are 20.4 over. Chargers are 20.15 over. But that goes back to what I was saying. So it's already been rumored, and based on who you want to believe on Twitter, on people that follow the team closely, it sounds like the Dolphins already have restructures in place for Jalen Ramsey and Tyreek Hill. Those 2 restructures alone get them to about 13 million under the cap. And if they restructure someone like Bradley Chubb as well, then you're getting up into like the 25, 26, 27 range. And there's a number of other small moves they can make. They can get to $50 million very quickly in available space. And it's go ahead.
What I was just going to ask you what you thought of the Jonnu Smith signing at tight
end. He's the best tight end we've had in a long time.
By the way, why if it might turn out that he can sign McKinney too, because someone from Buffalo is a free agent who really likes to play for Brian Daboll.
Oh, Poyer, I forgot about him, Jordan Poyer.
But good player, but he's 30.
He was petitioning to play for the Dolphins last year before they restructured his deal. Not that I want him to sign with Miami, but who knows with some of these guys? Half of them talk so much shit online. It's annoying. But it's going to be weird. So there's been one of the Dolphins beat writers who was at the Combine was talking on one of the radio shows somewhere yesterday. And they were saying that the Dolphins have been telling players' agents around the league that the Dolphins are going to have a lot more cap space than people realize. And I think it goes back to some of these restructures that they have just sitting there. They can essentially make 4 or 5 moves and get to about 40 million, and they can make some other deeper cuts and get even higher up there, 50, 60 million without really batting an eyelash. And that's before a Tua extension. Which his extension is actually going to lower his cap number this year as well. So his extension will actually create even more cap space for them in the short term.
He said he's not concerned about a deal getting done. So
I didn't want to talk about Tua, but we can talk about it real quick. I found it interesting. Season ends. Greer says we want to get a deal done, long-term deal. We know where he's at. He knows where we're at. We feel good about it. We think we're going to get a deal done. Tua and his camp say the same thing. It sounds like a deal is relatively close, and they're going to probably have something closed out pre-draft. Well, then Chris Greer yesterday says that he expects the Tua extension talks to last well into the offseason, talking about possibly not even having the extension in place before minicamp starts, which I
didn't hear that. Wow.
I couldn't believe it when I heard that. I was like, what happened? And I'm wondering if they're holding his feet a little more to the fire than they originally let on, and just handing him 55, 60 million a year. Instead, they're like, well, really, you're like a $45 million a year player. And I wonder, and like I said, I don't have any evidence to back that up other than me speculating based on what's been said. Right. But it's very odd to me that both sides were so excited to get a deal done, and now all of a sudden it's going to not be till July or August. Like, what happened that we have to wait 4 or 5 months for that? So just an interesting tidbit to throw out there.
We'll absolutely be keeping an eye on that, of course. All right, and we can go through the. You want to hit wide receivers?
Sure. Free agents or tags?
Free agents.
Okay.
Just looking at the NFL ranking here, they have in this order ranked number 1 Calvin Ridley, number 2 Marquise Brown, Gabe Davis at 3, Curtis Samuel at 4. It's not very
pretty lackluster free agent class.
Lackluster. Darnell Mooney at number 5, KJ Osborne at number 6, and we get to Odell Beckham at number 7. He's ranked ahead
8,
of
9,
Tyler
and
Boyd.
10. Oh,
Tyler Boyd, and well, they only go to 9.
Tyler Boyd hasn't even been officially released yet.
Tyler Boyd is 8.
And Michael
He's still
Thomas is
technically
9.
a Bengal right now. That's crazy. Okay.
They say.
I mean, I know there was a report that they're expected to release Joe Mixon and Tyler Boyd, but no official moves had taken place yet. I mean, teams still have, I think it's till the 15th. I think they still got 8 days left here.
Yeah, 8 days.
So yeah, next Friday, to get cap compliant and get all their moves out of the way. So I'm sure those moves are coming. I just thought it was interesting. He'd already be on a list before it happens.
On a list, he's there, baby. NFL, it's a script. Come on.
I just wanted to throw L'Jarius Sneed out there. Mm-hmm. He was tagged by the Chiefs.
Yep.
And it sounds like not only are they willing to trade him, but it's starting to sound like it's likely they will trade him. Apparently, their asking price is a 2nd-round pick, and a 2nd-round pick for a player of his caliber. He's only 27, and you're going to Even if you pay him, the second round pick seems like nothing at that point. I think he's a premier corner. And in the right system, he'll continue to flourish. I think it's interesting that they're so willing to let Snead go in a trade, and it does not sound like Chris Jones is coming back either. Which, if we want to play conspiracy theorist, really plays into something that Tim shared with us the other day about a potential trade. If they do let that happen, if they let Chris Jones walk and they trade Snead, I kind of think Tim might be onto something. And I think I had sent it in the chat originally, and I sent it more jokingly than anything. Like, what if they traded for him? And for those who were talking about Justin Jefferson, who apparently is available via trade, if you want to give up that haul. And I think it wouldn't shock me. It would not shock me. How do you keep Andy Reid interested in coaching? You give him the best quarterback and the best receiver in football. That's how. I don't even want
that stack in your fantasy lineup. So wide receiver, obviously from a free agent standpoint, pretty lackluster. When Calvin Ridley is leading your class.
I think he can have a bounce back year. I don't think Jacksonville was a good fit for him.
I agree.
I think some of these guys can be nice players for a team, but it's not like the star-studded running back.
There's no alphas in that list. It's all second receivers, in my opinion. Which I think even Higgins and Pittman, who got tagged, were second receivers.
Yep.
In an ideal world.
Quarterback. Here's how they rank the free agent quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is number 1.
At number 1. Number 2, Jacoby Brissett.
And right there, that tells you how bad the free agent market is for quarterbacks this year.
Does it list Mayfield?
Yes, at number 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right ahead of Ryan Tannehill, your boy, yo boy.
I was so excited when we drafted him.
Russell Wilson comes in at number 5.
I'll kill myself. I will kill myself.
I don't think you have anything to worry about. I'd be more worried about you guys drafting a quarterback.
Kill myself. I don't mind if they draft a quarterback, not in the first round.
If it's who they've been linked to very heavily, you should be heavily concerned.
No, I don't want JJ McCarthy either. I want Bo Nix.
Supposedly, oh God, fuck that.
Why not? It's risk free. It's risk free. I don't care.
It's not risk free.
It's
not risk free when your coaching staff is on the verge of getting fired. That's why I think if they're going to get a quarterback, it has to be with that first round pick. And in my opinion, it should not be JJ. If it's one of the first 3, because I still like Jaden Daniels a lot, I think that's great. But if it's not one of those first 3, like, go take Malik Neighbors. You'll be very happy with what you see of him. He's very good at football. Continuing the tradition of really good LSU receivers.
I don't want any other quarterbacks. I'm good.
You don't want any of them? You wouldn't take Caleb?
No, I think he's a fucking head case. I think he's a lunatic.
So what about
his whole family's a pack of weirdos? He won't do OTA. He won't do any practice. He won't do the combine. He wants pieces of the teams. His father's trying to circumvent the rookie pay scale. Oh yeah, we don't want that rookie thing. We want to get paid more. Oh, are you on drugs? This whole family's on. This is worse than the basketball idiots. The family more those bunch of those morons.
I do have some serious maturity concerns there. But what about Drake May? You wouldn't take Drake May?
I don't know. It's like, if we can't get the best, I don't know who the best is. Look, Caleb seems like a lunatic to me.
Caleb is the most talented.
He's a whack job. Yeah.
And yet he's the one I'm most hearing is people saying he's a bust. I think I haven't really. JD McCarthy, I heard if the Giants take him there, just redoing Daniel Jones all over again, which I can see that. But
I think he has more natural arm. Well, I won't say talent. I think he's a more accurate passer coming out than Daniel Jones was. But I don't like him at all. There's nothing special about him. There's not like one trait that's like, oh, he's really good at this. It's like, nope, it's just JJ McCarthy.
I know. By the way, I know Melo's not here. He's on the goddamn ocean somewhere. But I just want to point out, and again, I'm not playing devil's advocate or Daniel Jones advocate, but his numbers are very similar to a certain Giant Super Bowl winning quarterback. Very close.
Talking about JJ?
No, Daniel Jones.
Daniel.
I'm saying.
Oh, to
Daniel
Eli?
Jones and Eli Manning's stats are ridiculously close to the same thing. First 4 years.
It's the rest of the team.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying
he did get sacked 30 times in 5 games last year.
I'm still not saying he's the answer. I'm not saying he's our quarterback. But I'm saying is the coaching staff fucked him up, man.
But see, that's why I say if you take Malik Neighbors, you're giving him a premier weapon he's never had. Exactly. And if it doesn't work out, guess what? You're going to be picking high enough to take a quarterback again next year, so it doesn't matter.
Right. And Jones is off the and Jones is guaranteed.
Yeah, and he's gone. You cut him, but at least give him a true shot with that premier. I think Malik Neighbors. If Marvin Harrison wasn't in this draft, Malik Neighbors is, in my opinion, easily the first receiver off the board.
Yep, no, I agree. I'm just saying I would give Daniel Jones one more shot. Give him one more shot.
I have said this since we were in the season that you guys needed to be looking at Malik Neighbors or a receiver, but Malik Neighbors now especially. I think that's perfect.
There's no reason to run. I mean, I guess arguments can be made for any of those guys, but there's no reason for the Giants, like you guys said just now. If it doesn't work out with Daniel Jones next year, you're picking high enough to then pivot to a quarterback next year. But we'll see what happens. And then there's always guys like Jameson Winston and Gardner Minshew and Tyrod Taylor. We could bring him back. And
Tyrod Taylor is the greatest number 3 quarterback of all time.
The latest mock on Tankathon has you guys taking Neighbors at 6,
which I'm happy with. Yeah. Wide receiver or offensive lineman are my only 2 acceptable picks for the Giants at number 6 in my case. That's it. That is it.
Just
wait for our draft special.
To play.
I'm getting drunk this year. I am getting drunk this year.
Are you going to join us this year, Steve? With no Melo?
Yeah. What was the reason why I couldn't join last year?
I don't remember. I think that was technically the first thing I did was the draft show.
Wow, you were there for the Will Levis Spectacular. Was your first show?
Will Levis.
What's it going to be this year? Who's it going to be this year?
It's going to be JJ McCarthy when he free falls.
That's too long of a. It was Will Levis works out because it's just 3 syllables.
Yeah,
but just to go back to the Giants pick real quick, because I know you said receiver or offensive tackle. Are you totally against them taking someone like Dallas Turner, edge from Alabama? Because I think he would be really scary opposite Tibbs.
I don't see it as in this like an extreme. I mean, don't get me wrong. We need a lot of work.
There's a lot of holes to plug.
But I said I want Daniel Jones to get that weapon, or I want Evan Neal to move in, and I want to replace him at a tackle. Those are my 2 things.
We've how many times have we talked about that in our group chat? Move Evan Neal inside and draft another tackle. It's I think
the thing is we need to embrace it and invite one of these head honchos from the Giants into the group chat so we could just like.
Is this the regime that drafted Andrew Thomas? Is it the same regime, or was that Gettleman still?
Gettleman.
It was Gettleman who drafted Andrew Thomas. Okay. I was going to say, because if it's the same regime, then I would almost say there's no chance they take another tackle. There's no way they take 3 tackles in the same regime. But no, if it's a different regime, then yeah. I know Joe Alt has gotten like a lot of hype here lately. The 6'9", 340-pound mountain of a man.
Oh, plus if they don't draft, what's his name as a free agent? Iwunu from Patriots. Michael Iwunu.
Oh, Michael Iwunu. He has experience at all 5 positions on the line too.
So I mean, I'd go after him first if we're not going to draft. Draft that Sam.
26.
I know what people. Yeah. I know people are worried about him as a tackle only because of his size. I know in certain schemes, like I know certain teams won't even look at him as a tackle because of how big he is. But I think the versatility in today's NFL is so much more valuable.
Oh yeah.
There's just so many injuries. So anytime you have a guy that you can just plug and play at any of those spots, man, that's such a value. Especially if you're then talking that he's above average at those spots, that's just a win.
Right. All right, so you want to go through some more of the tags that I know we were kind of bouncing back and forth between the tags and free agency.
Do it.
Anybody else that you wanted to bring up?
Oh, we can mention Jalen Johnson from the Bears. He actually got an extension today. He signed a 4-year, $76 million deal. I believe 40 some odd million of that was guaranteed. So that's our first tag extension has been done. Jalen Johnson. He might be the only one that gets a tag extension.
Right.
I don't know that any of these other
going
guys are
through
getting
the rest of these guys. I don't see any.
Yeah, Brian Burns and the Panthers are no longer talking contract. Josh Allen and the Jaguars, it doesn't sound like are still talking contract, which it sounds like Josh Allen wanted premier edge money, and Jaguars were like, "You've had one good season. We're not going to do that." Kyle Duggar is actually technically not a franchise tag; he's a transition tag, so he is still technically a free agent. They just have right of first refusal; they can match any offer he gets. I still kind of think he's not coming back. I've heard a couple people whisper that maybe T. Higgins is available via trade, but the Bengals don't actually trade players, so I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They haven't made a trade of players in like forever, so I don't know if I buy that one.
I'll take T. Higgins.
There's a lot of teams that would take T. Higgins. Be happy about it. I think
Michael 22 million, 21.8.
Yeah, 21.8. 21.8. Both receivers are 21.8 this year. Pittman and Higgins both. Pittman I thought was interesting. Because I think he's getting more money than he was going to get in free agency. Because I like Michael Pittman, but I just don't think he's a number one receiver. But he'd be a really good number two somewhere. Deal. Pittman is?
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I at least with the tag, it gives them a chance to get hopefully a full season of him and Anthony Richardson together. See how that pairing works, and if it works, great.
Gotta see it.
Him. Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
And Anthony Richardson's got to chill out a little bit next year.
Please stay fucking healthy a little.
Every time he took off, it was like, hey, let me get a spear here and a spear there.
It was really, really entertaining to watch until he got hit, and then you're like, "Fuck! Why did you do that?"
It's like Olay.
Jaguars can't spend money because all that money goes into AEW.
Oh my god! They said that they gave that is he Japanese? The Japanese wrestler is he Japanese or Chinese? I'm not sure. I think he's Japanese.
Okada.
They gave him like $15 million. He would be the highest paid wrestler in WWE today if he went over there at his current salary. That's insane.
They overpaid. Like all these other number two teams that try to get a past. Oh, we're going to overpay for this guy. We're going to overpay for this guy.
But if you're giving that guy $4.5, I think it was like $4.75 million. How the fuck much are you going to pay MJF?
They're not. He's going to show up at WrestleMania and shock the world.
Yes. I feel like
he's going to join the bloodline.
I feel like AEW should invest some money into paying people to sit in the seats.
Well, wait, not to switch the whole thing to wrestling, but did you guys see what happened at the last pay-per-view? Sting, Sting retired.
Oh, yeah.
Sting had a cool entrance, came out to Metallica with his two sons.
Flair?
One son was dressed as Surfer Sting, one son was dressed as Wolfpack Sting. That was cool. They had the match. The match is fine. But Darby Allin, who is a wannabe Jeff Hardy, who takes the most unnecessary bumps in the history of professional, worse than Mick Foley, worse than all these guys, swantons off the ladder in the ring onto a bunch of tables and a pane of glass. Real glass, not Hollywood glass, real glass. Just goes right through it. Who cares, right? Shards of glass hit people in the first row.
Oh, I did see that.
One lady took it in the face, and she's like, I'm gonna, sue you. And basically, they said, I don't care. You sat in the first row. You know what you're gonna get. It's like, no, I wasn't gonna get fucking glass shoved in my face by some idiot jumping off a fucking ladder.
They're not winning that lawsuit. They're gonna have to pay her.
I was always concerned, like when they would throw the chairs out of the ring, that would bounce up and hit some kid in the front row. This fucking glass.
Someone like me, I'd be like, I'm not going to sue. I just want to go backstage and meet everybody. That's all I want to do.
Their safety department.
But a shard of glass to the eye over a completely unnecessary bump, I'm cashing in.
They're clearly not meeting OSHA standards over there in AEW.
It's not.
I think that Darby Allin's like, listen, I want to jump out of an airplane with no parachute onto a guy, and then Tony Khan be like, all right, that's cool. How much is it going to cost? $1 million? All right, we'll do that. No problem. Let's just do it. That's it. no standards, no safety, no thinking. Doesn't have anything to do with the match. Which is, I know if Eric was here, he'd fucking blow a gasket because it has nothing to do with wrestling. It's just like, hey, I'm gonna jump off this ladder onto a pane of glass. Why? Oh,
I saw they did some stupid suplex move in the corner the other day, and dude got dropped on his head and looked like he popped one of his vertebrae.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Ugh. Dude, like just stupid stuff. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And everyone's like, but they have the greatest matches. It's like, no, this is fucking garbage, dude. Like, this is trash.
It's backyard wrestling.
Yeah.
And what about the massive punches and chops that Flair was able to hand out?
Yeah, he was awesome. It was rough to watch. Very rough to watch. And
then you're talking about when he was on the other day.
Yeah, he was chopping and it was like they were selling it pretty good, but yeah, he looked horrible.
Yeah, it was like slow, and then the big chop.
Then Sammy Guevara got suspended for knocking out Jeff Hardy with an unnecessary swanton move. Landed on his face. But why is he getting suspended? It's an accident in wrestling. It didn't like he, dove on a pile of glass and hit someone in the front row. He just did a move and he slipped. He didn't come off the ladder right. Hits Jeff Hardy in the face, gives him a concussion. Okay, I get it. It's a stupid move, but we're going to suspend Sammy Guevara.
Is he known for hurting people? Is he Goldberg?
He's another risk taker. He's another risk taker.
I want to say it's like the third or fourth incident he's had.
Yeah, he's a bit of a he's one of those guys. Oh, I see there's a balcony up there. I must jump off that immediately. It's like, come on, dude, just stop. But why you suspend a guy for an accidental move? But idiot with the glass is going to get away scot-free. And oh my god, he's an innovator. No, he's a moron.
They gotta do something. No.
And viewership's still declining. It's not going up.
The midgets are still beating AEW. That's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say.
I mean, I know that the Khan family has more money than humanly imaginable, but like, how long does this go on? They're not making any money there. I mean, the wrestlers are making money. Good for them. They're making good money too, but fuck, man, it's just not. I don't know. I know a lot of people really love it, but I try
like Adam Sandler. You get paid a lot of money and not great.
Whoa. Adam Sandler has made great movies in the past.
Yes.
Okay.
They're getting paid.
No. Yeah, but there was that.
There were some bad ones. Jack and Jill is really bad.
Zohan.
Zohan
God.
Zohan was really bad. Yeah. But then he has like an Uncut Gems.
He mentioned Zohan in one of his Uncut Gems was phenomenal. He mentioned and what's the last one?
They just felt like a walking heart attack, man. Holy shit. Uncut. That movie was fucking intense.
Too much anxiety, man.
Dude, it is, but it's great. Have you seen the God, we're so off topic. Have you seen the trailer for his new movie where he's an astronaut?
Yeah.
Yes. No,
it looks really fucking good. I really want to see it.
What's it called? Spaceman? It's on Netflix.
I think it's shut up. Is it already on there?
You shut up.
Is it? No, I thought it didn't come out till like next month.
Wait a second.
If it's already on there, I'm gonna be so upset at myself. It looks really. And Paul Dano plays the spider. Everyone's like, "What the fuck, a spider? I thought you said he was an astronaut." Yeah, exactly. Go watch the trailer. It looks good.
What is it? Is it called Spaceman?
I thought it was called Spaceman.
It is called Spaceman.
A little off topic.
We're beyond off topic at this point.
That's what we do. That's what we do. It makes us charming.
Fuck, it is. Who fucking released it?
Who released it?
Oh, it's in theaters. It's not on Netflix. God, you fucking scared me.
It's not?
No. It's doing a mini. What? Did they lie to me?
It's
fuck, it is on Netflix. God damn it. I need to go watch
I knew that they did like a theater run. They did a theater run. I think it was in February or something.
I want to see that though. All right, I'm gonna have to go watch that maybe tomorrow night.
It's there. All right.
All right. Back to football.
I think I'm looking at the names. I think we hit on all these tags.
We missed a couple. Hold on. Let me go back to my list. We did not mention Justin Matabuke from Baltimore or Baltimore. Antoine Winfield from Tampa. Those were the two we didn't mention.
And then, what are the so Evans is coming back? I are there any other deals in place?
Not that I've
it's just
seen.
Evans. What was that?
252, 26 per.
Yeah, 250.
And he will it's not completely guaranteed, but the way it's structured, he'll pretty much get all 52 of that.
But that all but ensures Baker Mayfield coming back.
They didn't tag him though, which I thought was interesting. But the fact that they didn't tag him and did tag Winfield makes me think that they feel pretty confident that they're going to get a Baker deal done.
Yeah, I mean, he thrived there. I mean, it would be how dumb would it be to pick up and move to yet another team?
There was a report. I don't remember if it was. I think it was yesterday that there was some holdups on how much money it was going to be. That Tampa wanted to keep him under 40, and Baker wanted to be above Daniel Jones in that Daniel Geno range, contract wise.
He fucking has a hard on for Daniel Jones.
He does. He sure does.
Baker.
Yeah. He talked shit about him when he was drafted.
That wasn't the same draft class though, right?
No, but he's been talking about him since he's been drafted.
Yeah. He said, I can't believe the Giants took him at
Look, nobody can. Every year,
we were all stunned and shocked, and
every year you bring up a Daniel Jones comment. Every fucking year.
I don't see Baker Mayfield going into Minnesota and beating Kirk Cousins and that vaunted Minnesota defense.
He was like a field goal away from beating the Chiefs in Arrowhead in the playoffs one year.
So. Not he, they.
Well,
don't do that. And
well, you can't say he for Daniel Jones either, though.
I didn't say he. I said did he ever Baker? Did he ever go to Minnesota?
All right. Technical
and lead that team. That fiery attitude out of Daniel Jones that fired up the defense, fired up the offense, and
it's just funny you saying Daniel Jones and fiery attitude. That man has the same look on his face no matter what's going on.
Got away from me there a little bit. All right.
So did another Giants quarterback. I'm not going to mention his name.
That's also true. That's very true. Only today does Eli Manning show any type of emotion.
It's true.
Did I send? This is going to go to a dark place in a moment here. Did I send you guys the interview with Chris Collinsworth?
And who?
Excuse me. With the woman? With the money?
With the girls. Yeah.
I was laughing.
Okay, I already watched it. But okay, so it's creepy. It's creepy. It's a very, 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 very creepy interview. I don't want to play it.
He'd be under investigation right now if we played it today.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play it, but in the video, he's woman's interviewing him about being a celebrity, getting girls, and he starts talking about how my real fans are between 14 and 18, and when they turn 18, that's when they realize there's better stuff out there. Yeah, I walk around with $100 bills hanging in my pocket.
Yeah,
which is all fine and dandy until you. Why are we talking about 14 to 18-year-old girls? Now, in his defense, really quickly,
you don't have
he didn't say anything about him doing anything with 14 to 18-year-old girls. He said that those were the fans of his.
He actually insulted himself. See, when they turn 18, they don't like me anymore. So it's like. Are you saying that because you're?
Oh, they realize there's something better out there.
Creepy pedophile? Are you saying that because you're just ugly? Like, which way are you going?
It's all in the way you watch it. See, the first time that's exactly what I heard, but then the second time I was like, all right, well, he didn't say it, but it's still super fucking creepy. No matter what you do, go watch it. But then you have to
It looks like the Robert Chambers interview video when he killed Jennifer Levin back in the 80s. Looks like the same video, same exact video. It looks like.
That's right.
Yes, I just showed my age, guys. If you don't know who that is, look it up. Google it. Robert Chambers, Jennifer Levin.
I saw that this morning, and I was like, this is a thing. I wonder if how he's going to respond to that.
Here's a guy. That's all you're gonna say.
Here's a guy. He was 25. He was 25 in the interview.
Yeah, his chair's gonna come flying into frame. He's gonna say, "Here's a guy who was only 25 when he said that." So leave him alone.
Oh, okay. It's not a recent interview.
No.
Oh,
No, this is from the 1984 or something like that.
Still very troubling, but it's at least I thought it was like current. I'm like, this is very troubling.
I
like,
should have. That's my bad. That's on me.
That's why.
That's our. Defending him, and I'm like, he's like 68. No, don't.
Wait, it's an R-Truth moment. R-Truth moment. That's on me.
Okay,
that's my bad.
I said that's why it looks like the Robert Chambers confession video, because it looks like it's from the 80s, and he has that perfect coif hair of the 80s, and it's like, women like me because I have $100 bills hanging out of my pocket. It's like, what? What? It's pretty bad.
He went from 14-year-old girls to being in love with Patrick Mahomes. So.
Yep. Came full circle. He could be a 14-year-old girl too.
Kermit Mahomes.
Darlene,
right?
Yep.
Isn't that
Darlene Connor?
Yes. Oh, that's good.
How old was he when you said you did that interview? 25?
25, I think I saw. Yeah.
Okay. His wife's only 5 years younger than him. I was just doing math in my head.
Because if
but then I didn't think.
Yeah. Had it been like 10 years, I'd have been like,
That's rough. Yeah, you start doing the calculations immediately in your mind.
That's as soon as I. Yeah. Anyways,
how illegal is this?
Did she follow the trail of $100 bills falling out of his pocket, or
maybe?
Look at that! Just imagine that, just walking around, and he did. Must be nice.
They met while she was a
Monopoly money.
At the University of Kentucky. They attended law school together at the University of Cincinnati College. How did they attend law school together if they're 5 years apart? Anyway, I'm not going to look any more into this.
One made a later decision than the other. I think we've covered a lot of stuff today. We got into NBA stuff. We got into NHL stuff. There's not really a lot to talk about in baseball, other than the fact that I'm gonna feel bad here for Soto because he's already getting Mets questions. Already.
When's the last time you guys signed a free agent from the Yankees? It's been a while, right?
It's a trivia question.
Who the hell?
Cano. He won't be at Seattle.
I can't think of any. And I think that was a trade, even if I'm not mistaken. Cano.
Well, Cano went to Seattle first, then to the Mets.
Right, but I'm saying I think he was that was all traded. I can't remember last time y'all had a free agent signing.
That was for him.
Edwin.
Want to hear the music? Timmy doesn't.
I don't.
Even though it's Timmy Trumpet. It's Timmy Trumpet.
I really don't want to hear that music.
It's Timmy Trumpet. What else? We talked about all the stuff with LeBron and getting to the 40,000 points. Now Stephen A. Smith says it's not a big deal because they lost the game. So screw the historics of it. Ben Simmons,
you guys signed Luis Severino this year.
Yes, we stole him from you, Timmy.
We didn't want him.
I'm sure Timmy is very heartbroken. 5 years ago, Tim would have been furious.
I never liked him.
What? He was amazing.
No, he wasn't. He was never amazing.
What?
He was never amazing.
He had some amazing years. Tim.
He didn't do it
back-to-back years of 190 innings with an ERA below 308.
He did nothing for me.
Over 200 strikeouts. He was great.
It was cock on a stick.
That's pretty. 230 strikeouts.
So he was 14-6 with a 2.98 ERA, 230 Ks.
And then the fragile began.
Wait,
1.04.
2018, 19-8, 3.39 ERA. On the other side of town, Jacob deGrom probably had a 1.6 ERA and was like 8-7.
I thought deGrom was a little like a year or two after with the ones ERA. Maybe I'm wrong.
The one that's just because that'll drive.
Nope, that was the exact same year. Good call.
Oh, okay.
Good call.
170, and he was 10-9, baby. 10-9. Imagine having a 1.70 ERA going 10-9. The next year, 2.43 ERA going 11-8. 21-17 combined.
1.7. An ERA of 1.7 for a starter is just fucking absurd.
Well, look at 2021. What he was on pace for. He was at 108.
But it was only 92 innings.
Yeah.
Still though, that's
still,
insane.
yeah.
His fucking whip was 0.55. Are you kidding me?
Can we talk that everyone is finally turning on Frank the Tank, and I'm so happy about it.
Thank God. My God, I turned on him years ago. It was funny the first couple.
Have finally turned.
The Devils fans for sure have
the Devils for sure.
Even though he was right and they did fire Lindy Ruff.
I mean, he gets booed. I saw him here. I wasn't gonna give that fucker any attention. I mean, I saw him, but I didn't.
Fucking chew toy. I'm gonna rip it out of his. Oh my God!
I can't. And then the glasses. It's all so over the top.
It's also fake. I don't care. It's fake. It's all fake.
You see him talking just perfectly calm, perfectly normal, and then it switches on so that they can get their TikTok hits.
Fuck him.
Maybe that's what we should do.
I hope he has a heart attack. I hope he rolls down the upper deck for Citi Field all the way down to the first floor. Wow. Just rolling all the way down with that chew toy in his mouth.
It's got to be, and it's got to be scripted because he's talking. Alonso is going to be traded to Chicago. Then they're going to trade Lindor. We're going to be 30 games out of first place. And let's just block all of it. Can I do that? Can I just block? Can I just block Frank the Tank?
Every time I see him, I comment, please stop. Your 15 minutes are up. Go away. Every time I see one of his things, that's what I write.
So embarrassing.
Onto happier
and he's
things.
a Dolphin fans.
Yep.
I don't pay any attention to him. I actually just found out he was a Dolphins fan like not even a year ago. I couldn't believe it. Why is he for the Dolphins?
Yeah, that's great.
Dude, he wears a Dolphins jersey with the Met hat or the devil. Like you're so stupid for crisscrossing all those weird colors.
And now he's a Knicks fan. He was an NBA free agent fan or some dumb shit.
Your aqua blue jersey with your fucking red devil hat and your stupid.
Well, everyone says that from the game he dapped up OG is when the Knicks fell apart. Him and OG, he gave OG a high five as OG was leaving the court, and then the next season just went to shit after that.
Went to shit.
He sucks.
All right.
This DeGrom run, I knew it was good, but holy fuck, it's incredible. That's 2018 to now.
But that's why these dumbass fans that are like, oh, he's a traitor and whatever. The Mets offered him less money because in the end it was a business, and thankfully the Mets did not sign him because now knowing what Cohen might have done, DeGrom, I'm going to repeat this because Timmy wasn't here when I said it. DeGrom, Scherzer, and Verlander all starting the year on the IL. And think about that as a Met fan. You just kill yourself anyway, but
it is accounting for like $100 million of your payroll. So
yeah, it's just and what's
so
good
wait a second. Time out.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have rather them just kept DeGrom than picked up Scherzer and Verlander?
I was at that point. If the Mets made an offer and another team came along and scooped up DeGrom, I was fine with it because it was hey, it's May. DeGrom took himself out of a game as precautionary. Don't worry about it. All right. DeGrom will start his next start, and then no, that's gonna get pushed back. It's gonna get pushed back. Oh my, and get pushed back again, and then DeGrom is fine. He's throwing. No. Now it's something with his back because he is making up for some arm angle issue. I mean, look at all those 5 years. He threw 101, 100, effortlessly, just in his string bean. So, but the injuries came up too much. I was fine with the Scherzer signing. I was fine with the Verlander signing because they were 2-year deals.
He cut his hair. That's what happened.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
He cut his hair. That's it. All gone. He cut his power out.
God, and that contract still what this year and 1, 2, 3. Hold on. Fuck, I lost it.
That one, what was it? It could go to 5 for 190 or something, 185 or
something like that. Yeah, it's 30 million last year, 40 this year and next, 38 in 2026, 37 in 2027, 40. And then it's a mutual option of 37 in 2028.
He's getting paid a lot of money. $40 million this year.
It's insane.
Did he have TJ again last year? Is that what it was? So he's not pitching until like the end of the season.
Yeah. 40 million.
Fuck.
Hey.
So they paid him $70 million, and he was pitched 30 innings for them.
Oh my God. Baseball, man.
Baseball's fucking crazy.
Yep.
I've done no research for fantasy baseball, by the way.
And he's the guy who was always they started turning on him and saying that he didn't want to play for New York anymore and whatnot. But I mean, he never had an issue in New York. The fans loved him. I don't see why.
Didn't he re-sign a small deal in the midst of that run that he was on? But he still wasn't getting any support. Then he
he was. He wasn't getting.
The Mets paid him about $100 million the last 3 years he was there.
But there was a contract in that 5-year run. There was another contract in there somewhere, right? And they re-signed him, and he stayed.
It was arbitration.
Yeah, it was arbitration.
Which the fact that a 34-year-old is in arbitration is fucking absurd.
I'm just saying, imagine you were pitching as well as he was, and you're losing because fucking Mets couldn't score a run. I'm like, dude, you leave a score, I'm out of here. He's like, no, I'm gonna stay. And then he's like, all right, now you're out of here. Oh, no, I can't pitch anymore. So it's like, what?
I really think baseball should go to the hockey format for unrestricted free agency. 7 professional seasons or your age 27 season, whichever comes first. And you're under team control until that point, and then after that, you're unrestricted. 27 years old or 7 professional seasons, whichever comes first.
Never happened in baseball.
No, it will never happen because the Baseball Players Association has no fucking power. They have no nuts.
No nuts. All right, let's get up on out of here. Let's do that. Let's go round robin here before we do. We even got in some movies, TV shows. Look at that shit. Timmy, what you got?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Monday. Free agent frenzy begins. Saquon goes to Dallas or Eagles. I will forget it. I will be like Frank the Tank if that's the case. No, I won't. I'll just wish bodily harm on him every time he plays because that's just nothing good. I will say that we did try to do Just Too Sweet the other day. The Town of Deposit's entire internet is down.
This is the problem with those towns. The entire town's internet is down?
The internet for the entire town was because me and Eric we were on ready to go live. And it kept going out. It was like, dude, we can't do this. If we go live, you're gonna keep fading out and blacking out, and I can't do the show by myself. And then he got calls from people, my internet's out. Then the whole town was like, yeah, we're having problems and we're redoing this, we're redoing that.
Wow.
Yeah.
For a hefty sum, I'll be willing to come fix it.
Yeah, you should. But we'd be better off. So whatever internet they have up there, hopefully it'll be fixed by Tuesday because there's a lot to talk about in wrestling. So look out for that. Monday's free agency. I'm pumped. I'm ready to go. And then the draft is right around the corner.
It really is. I'm gonna go into our chat and look to see why I didn't make last year's draft. Because what if it was a date thing that I'm forgetting something about?
Wasn't it? Didn't your wife have surgery?
When did she have surgery? Look at you.
I think it was that. Yeah.
Gallstones.
You were supposed to be there.
Yes,
that's exactly what it was. Yeah, you were supposed to be there, and then something came.
Timmy, you just saved my whole night.
that was 2 hours of research. That
like
Steve
a
was
fucking hawk up there.
So yeah,
that's why I love you, Timmy.
I had to remember something.
All right, so so it wasn't a date thing. No surgeries. Knock on wood. On the book, so I'll be there.
I'm still getting drunk.
I'm
and if I hear with the number 6 pick, New York Giants select J.J. McCarthy quarterback, I'm gonna take a big shot of whatever's here. I'm done.
It always a fun. This will be our 4th, right?
Yeah,
we started doing them in 2020. All right, Ant, what you got?
I just want to let Tim know that Luis Severino for a 500 inning stretch between 2017 and 2022 was one of the best pitchers in baseball.
I never liked him. I never did.
Can we have that, please? Give me a little bit of that.
I'm just saying. He was really good. The reason I remember this because he was on my fantasy baseball team those years. Won some championships with him being one of my aces. So
well, they said he had been tipping his pitches. Like that was like
his ERA really doesn't show it. I mean, last year he was bad. I get it, but he was also coming off of like not pitching for 2+ years. So
yeah. And I don't like that. I don't like that you're trying to give me a little bit of hope with him.
I like him a lot.
I know.
I'll tell you now, my draft strategy: draft Luis Severino in like the last round. And if he's not there, oh well. But that's
in that league, there's a few Met fans, so I don't know.
Then I won't get him. But yeah, he was really good there for a pretty long stretch.
Denver up by 3.
Predators won.
44-41.
Oh, what did the Heat do? I missed the end of it.
They lost.
Fuck. All right. Terrific.
Perfect. What do we got? Who we got? Totals here. Jimmy Butler.
Terry Rozier went fucking off.
27. Best game of the Heat. Remember the Heat?
Yeah, he's been getting hot here lately though. So.
What's going on with Jimmy? 14.
Celtics have 15 3-point attempts.
Clearly didn't care to play tonight. 6 turnovers, 14 points.
Bam, also 14 points.
Oof.
35 for Luka.
There's the problem. We played Caleb Martin 33 fucking minutes tonight. There you
go. What'd you say, Timmy?
Celtics have 15 3-point attempts already. Halfway through the second.
Yeah. They're only down 3 though.
No, they're down 5. About to be 6.
The other problem was Luka. 35, 11, and 11.
He's kind of good.
He's a little, yeah. He's
kind of good.
Kyrie put up 23. All right, Ant. Anything else on the way out?
No, I'm good.
Give me hope on.
I'm gonna go watch this Adam Sandler movie. Probably not tonight though.
I might dip into a little Celtics Denver action after we're done here. That's what probably do.
Well, 5 minutes halftime. So,
what could just give me 1 second here? I want to bring up we have a couple contests up on the site for a few different cities here. As this loads.
Not mine.
Not New York City. You have a day or 2 left. Actually, this is going to close tomorrow. The contest for the codes from Adam for Imaginary. So you'll get 2 tickets. Ant, you interested? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Nope. Scary movie, not me.
No, oh, you don't do scary.
Nope,
okay.
No, don't
this is this is all about how little girl had an imaginary friend.
Saw the trailer. Not for me. Not for me.
Comes back.
You know what's great?
Imaginary friend is still there.
I hope somebody mixes up imaginary with if, because it's the same concept. Little imaginary friends. I hope someone messes that up one day.
Do you know what's funny is that when Steve said imaginary, I actually thought it was if at first, and I was like, "Oh yes, I would be interested." And then I realized I'm like, "Oh no, that's the scary one."
You were like super intrigued. All right, okay. And then we have we'll have Arthur the King coming up with Mark Wahlberg and the dog. Everybody's gonna love it.
There's a Mark Wahlberg movie coming out about him and a dog.
Yes. Arthur the King.
He's all Jesus-y now, so he only does movies like that now. Inspirational, feel-good dog movies.
based on an incredible true story.
Whenever they add incredible in there, you know it's good.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Based
the
on
number one movie in America.
Story.
That'll be for Miami, Orlando,
in Eastern
Tampa,
Kansas.
Jacksonville and West Palm for those guys. And then what do we got here? What movie is this for? Oh, same movie, different cities. So we'll also carry it in Raleigh, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, and in Atlanta. Or as I affectionately call it, Craplanta. No offense. But that does it for us today.
Maybe offense.
It might be a little offensive. That does it for us today. We'll keep you updated as always in the group of what's going on in the world of sports. Look out for Anthony's NHL trade primer, hopefully on Saturday. Put you on the spot there. What other show? That's it. No more shows for this week. I don't think internet will be back up for AZ and deposit yet. But next week we'll get it all kicked off all over again. Mets show is back. If you're into that kind of miserable thing, that's there if you want to go watch four miserable guys cry over the Mets.
Remind me before we leave. I got to talk to someone in payroll. My check bounced again.
and I want to say that a great tradition has died, and I'm not happy about it.
What is it?
Eric got Lisa's name correct on Empire 161. And I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Well, we kind of bonded at the Christmas show." I said, "No, you can't do this to me. You can't." He's like, "No, I'm going to call it Lisa from now on." So that's done. That's over.
That's disappointing.
When is the Giants show finale?
We should do one.
We got to do that.
So I can do my Frank the Tank. Just fucking
talk about timing. Oh, so but you want to do it after Monday, so we know where Saquon is?
Yeah, we should do it Monday.
We didn't mention Paul Heyman, WWE Hall of Fame inductee.
I had all that set for Tuesday, but God forbid.
Oh, sorry.
Internet works, and
if you want to hear more about it, tune in Tuesday.
That's a tease. Hey, the tease before for me, that was the Collinsworth story. That's it.
Okay, there we go. I had no idea what you were talking about when you said that.
Yeah, we come full circle, baby. Full circle. All right, we're up on out of here. Peace out, everybody.
Boy.